energy is contagious. Enthusiasm is contagious. So when I say smile, there's going to be some days you got to fake it till you feel it because it is contagious. A smile can change a church, a family, an airport lounge. It can change any environment. It wouldn't matter how unhappy the energy is or how toxic. If you had, not just one person sometimes, but if you had the majority of people. I try this in airports all the time. And you know, I watch the people scream at the people at the desk, and I nicely tap them on the shoulder. I said, can I share something with you? And they say no. I say, great. The louder you yell, the further down the line you go. She says, well, what do you do when you're canceled? You earn a living doing this. I say, I smile and say, keep typing. Every problem has a solution. And I say it 50 times sometimes. Keep typing. Every problem has a solution. Keep typing. And all I'm doing is what? I'm not manipulating.
You're getting to the 21st time until she understands.
And she knows I'm not going anywhere until a solution is found, unless the world's stopped. And they always, in 18 years, in 700 gazillion speaking engagements, I've missed one. And there's been no flights flying into the airport. Sometimes I have to drive for 5 or 6 hours because every problem has a what? Solution. The only block from the solution is the person who doesn't own the problem, who's denying the problem, who's sweeping the problem, or is blaming it on who? Don't blame your non-performing dental practice on your patients. Because your patients are a two-way mirror reflection of who? You, your culture, and your morale, because they choose you and they're loyal to you and they're retained by you because you make them feel better in your presence. If they're all leaving not feeling better, they're going to be a conversation in their life and they're going to probably what? Not show up or go somewhere else. So your energy, ask yourself, what is the energy on your dental team? Workplace stress. It's killing people. 75 to 90% of the physician visits in this country are related to workplace stress. I don't get it. I kind of do, but I don't. It's not necessary. So, why do pharmaceuticals love you? Right? You go to your physician, who's a quarterback for referrals, and they go, oh, I just heard about something, take this. But is that going to treat the problem of workplace stress? Because I bet your workplace stress is how you handle stress in a lot of other places. Stress, is there ever going to be a stress-free day in dentistry? Never seen one. What's the goal? The goal is to have more positive stress than negative stress. Okay, so I want you just to turn to a partner and do a quick list of all the stressors in your day. All the stressors in the dental practice. What are your stressors? Because I want to be able to show you how you can categorize them into urgent, medium, and okay. Share? Okay. Tell me, what's causing you stress in your dental practice? Cancellations. Oh, yeah. No shows and cancellations. No shows and cancellations. Why? Because what's the goal of a dental practice is to have a tripod of a patient, a provider, a chair all functioning at the same time. White space, what happens in white space? No income. Hygienists, you're expensive coffee drinkers, it is what it is. And when a dentist has time on their hands, they're tempted to saunter into a space they are not welcome. Right? Where do they go? And it's so, right? They tiptoe. Like we can't feel them coming. Right? Any of you ever trained a dog with those invisible electrical fences? My dream one day is to have an invisible electrical fence from the front to the back, and when a clinician comes into the space, they get electrocuted back to their room. Would that not be awesome? They wouldn't be happy. Right? Because what do? They saunter into our space and they breathe their sweet breath down the back of our neck as they point at our screen. What happens? They canceled. And I could not fill it. We're going to do a lot of work on cancellations and no-shows. I can tell you one thing you can take from this stressor right now, because I'm not going to teach you all 12 systems, is stop taking cancellations when you sleep. A lot of it comes from Canadians love to not face the music and just dump messages on you. You don't take changes in schedules of a reserved time for your healthcare appointment on your answering machine. Okay? And you don't say, our policy is, because they'll do it anyways. You just say, thank you for calling Dr. Smith's office. Our office hours are Monday to Thursday, 8 to 5. If you're calling to confirm your appointment, leave a message now. If you are calling to change your reserved time, please call back during regular business hours. You know what? If you have how many of you go home and you had a full schedule? You're not kicking the dog. You're not being mad at your husband. You're actually talking on the phone to your personal life because you're full for when? Tomorrow. Then you come in, you push that button, or you call an answering service, and your day just falls apart before you start. Number one, don't take cancellations or changes of confirmed appointments overnight. And if you've got answering service, right, where you've got that group of telemarketers, you're going to need to give them scripts. Okay, question?
Yeah, about that. I feel like people are still going to leave messages and cancel if they can't make it.
Well, here's the deal. I will tell you, for the most part, you all think that until you try it. And people come back and go, you're kind of right. For the most part, guys, your patients are nice people. They're Canadians too. They want to work together with you. Here's the thing. What's the goal? It's not perfect. What's the goal is to have one more win. So if 2 more people don't blow out my schedule, call me directly and I can make sure I don't lose them, because I'm telling you right now, you got tons of active patients out there in limbo. And that's based on the analysis of your patient CRM and your practice management. So the goal is to have a win. The goal isn't to be perfect. I will tell you, practices tell us after they do it for a while, they train the patients. For the most part, they might just say, I'm not around tomorrow, I fly out at 6. I just can't come. But you know what, for the other 4, now all of you also think your day's going to blow apart with failed appointments. I can tell you, you might be unique as the first time, but it doesn't happen like you think it is. A lot of what blocks you is your future event appearing real, that you think the change is going to cause something bad. If I don't believe it's going to cause something better, who's not going to model that? The patient. That's all. If they still do it, you go to a more assertive statement. Our office hours are this: we do not take or accept changes in your reservation. What word do I use there? You picked up on it? No. Why do I use reservation? Because it is. And where else? If I don't show up for my flight tonight to Vancouver, what are they going to tell me? Too bad for you, got to buy another one. Now I have some other status where I can keep typing. Every problem has a solution. Because I just got to 100K. Okay? And that's nothing to brag about. That means you sat on a plane 100 times. That's nothing to brag about. Okay? But think about it, is they will model you. What do you have to lose if the day's falling apart now and 2 less people don't do it? Why do they leave messages at night? Is because they know if they talk to a direct person, what am I going to say? How can I support you in honoring your reserved time? Instead of going to your nail gel appointment, right? Here's the thing. That which is rewarded is repeated. One other thing on this, and then I'm not going to go through all your stressors in this depth, but if I didn't at least talk about this, you'd all go home with an unknown, because it's been around for years, keeping people up at night. When a person calls and messes up your schedule, can I give you a tip? Stop saying okay. I do stranger studies. If people go, yeah, I'm not going to go to my dental appointment, I go, what? I go, that's same day. That's not fair. That's not nice. They go, what are you talking about? I just called them. They said it was okay. Gang, it's not okay if they change and mess up your schedule because you deserve for your time to be honored within 2 business days because you gave them a courtesy reminder with a 2-week confirmation. Don't say okay. Just stop saying okay. Hi, I'm calling to cancel my cleaning. What do you do? Okay. We're wide open tomorrow. Want to come then? Should have been a walk-in clinic in a mall. What did I just tell that patient? It's okay. Human behavior. That which is rewarded is repeated. And you wonder why they keep doing it to you. And then I tell them, we're a mess tomorrow. You want to help that out? Right? Question at the back. Then we got to break.
Some dentists have a cancellation fee. How do you?
Yeah, you all asked me this. Well, if you want an AR nightmare and you want a patient nutrition or you got a C patient, you want them never to come back, charge them a $500 missed appointment fee and see if you ever get paid. Here's the deal. An appointment missed fee is not a bad thing. It's just you do it first instead of last after you've done all the retraining. That's all. And there's no appointment fee you're ever going to get reimbursed that's going to make up for your lost time. However, when you have a process in place, that's downtime management, one of your key metrics, is what we put into learning virtually with online programs because it's so, like out of the 100 days I speak, 50 of them are no-shows and cancellations. I said to my team, we need some other resources besides just my mouth, but there's all kinds of ways you can train on how to handle this. Those 2 things are just top of the icing on the cake. Stop saying it's okay when they mess up your schedule to change a reservation. Air Canada doesn't go, okay, I know you're busy, lady.
Yeah.
Right? They say, we don't know if there's another seat for you in the next 2 to 3 days to get you to your destination. Right? So that which is rewarded is repeated. And don't let them do it in the cowardly way with your answering machine because they will choose that over talking to an effective, great person anyways that's going to encourage them. The last thing on this is don't let them hang up without their next appointment. You don't say, do you want to reschedule?
No, I'm rescheduling this.
Say, I will be rescheduling you. You're here on a Tuesday in 2 weeks. How does that work into your life? Because you never, ever ask in a high-performing team, gang, this question. You never say, when do you want to come? Nowhere else in healthcare do they let the patients drive their day. My chiropractor calls and says, we're starting new chiropractor annual physicals. I go, wow, everyone's getting this. When can you come in? They didn't say that. They said, we've blocked off Tuesday mornings and Thursday mornings. What's the first one you can fit into your life? I call for an eye exam. What do they tell me? Dr. Fink provides initial first-time eye exams on Tuesdays and Fridays. Which one works for you? The reason you let patients run over you is you ask them when they want to come.
So what if they say I'm not available on those days?
I just keep giving them suggestions of the blocks.
All the different.
Yeah, I'm going to teach you block scheduling. It's one of the most critical, impactful production builders in the practice. It's not just throw people in white space. It's you put them in a blocked, engineered schedule because every other part of healthcare does it. I can't call my medical doctor and go, hi, I got a day off. It's raining because I'm a landscaper. Can I have a physical? What do they say?
No.
Dr. Greiner reserves time for her physicals to give you her uninterrupted attention for more than 3 minutes on this day and this day. I go, oh, you're good.
But aren't we concerned with there's so many dentists out there, there's so many dentists?
That's fear. That is fear.
No, we're working at like alternative hours, we're working weekend, all this type of stuff. And then
Right.
if we're not going to accommodate or we're pushing them out a little bit.
Well, I mean, if you're working 4 days a week and you start at 10, you go home at 3, you own that. Right? But remember, our fear that they're not going to like us causes us to have dysfunctional, burnout, horrible culture, morale places to work because when you work in fear all the time, you're always what? You're always afraid.
Yeah.
There comes a time when you take a stand of what you believe. If you don't believe you're worth it, they will never model you. And guess what? When they say, I need to come at 7 o'clock, I say, yes, you and the rest of the world perceives that. However, you 7 o'clock isn't the best time for your crown prep. It's the end of the day. How can you fit a 1 o'clock into your life for that? We can get you in the evening for the delivery of it. Every problem has a solution. But it's not. Our policy is we only do root canals in the morning. Right? That's what happens is we take a stand and then we communicate it. So you can be in fear, or you can take a stand, and they will. Do you know that patients are looking? Do you know the number one thing patients say they expect from you to respect you as a dentist? Is you're confident. And all of you acting small and going, oh, please come. Please. I hear people, I'll lose my job if you don't show up. I go, you know what? That's silly. It might be true. Right? You know, my strangers ask me all the time, what's wrong with my dental office? Are they desperate? Like, they call me every week. That's not their perception. You're confident. Okay, so I'll challenge you on this, and I'll irritate you, but if I don't irritate you, there's no progress. It means you're already doing everything, right? Because I'm going to give you a different way to possibly look at it. And the fear of they're going to go somewhere else, do you know with what it takes for a patient to choose you, they don't just choose against the wall, they stalk you. So it takes a lot of withdrawals from their emotional bank account before they'll just say, I'm leaving. Unless it's an old behavior you're trying to redo. Okay, I just want to show you these 3 things before lunch. These are the 3 signs you know you're burned out. And you have a choice to stand up and look at how you see things. And it's a Sunday night stomach. You know what I mean by the Sunday night stomach? Now, if you don't work Mondays, it's going to happen Monday. Okay? Is that, now, some of you are newer in the profession. You'd be amazed at how many dental professionals have Sunday night stomach. This is number 1 sign of burnout in an unstimulated environment. It's that what? Another week in the hole. Another week with people, another week with filling voids, another week with whatever. Josie. The person that drives you the craziest, who really is your greatest learning experience because they drive you crazy because they're shining back a mirror of the crap you don't like about yourself. That's hard to accept. I always say try new things on the person that drives you the craziest. You don't have anything to lose. You didn't like her anyways. And when you can see them differently, the reason they're driving you the craziest is ask yourself, how am I letting this person get to me? Because you can't change Josie, right? You've tried, I can tell. Can't change them. All you can do is change the way you see it. Okay, Sunday night stomach. They say if you hit your snooze button, I know you don't have hammers, hopefully, because you might go left instead of right. But if you hit your snooze button 3 days in a row, 3 days a week, more than 3 times before you can mentally get out of bed, you're bordering workplace stress and burnout. And I don't mean that's because you stayed up till 5 playing Pokemon. Okay, that's not what I mean. It means when you get a decent night's sleep and you're dreading getting up in the morning, you wouldn't believe how many people have dread every day. And they wonder why their days are always bad. So ask yourself, how is it your brain is waking up? You know, you do some in personal development training. They always make you say, get rid of the alarm and train your brain to wake yourself up. Anyone know someone in their life that has an internal alarm? Yeah. That's a training. That's a learned skill. And that's the power of the mind. That what you think about, you manifest. It's a very interesting thought. Whether you believe it or not, there's lots of things to show it. And someone with an internal alarm has trained themselves. Now, I love them on weekends because they can never sleep in, and I go, woohoo, Mr. Alarm Internal, right? Because they can't turn it off on days they don't have to get up at that time. So I'm not saying get rid of your alarms. Dentists will kill me. I'm just saying, ask yourself, are you dreading every day? Because the energy you bring in to the workplace is everywhere you go, there you are. You can change the mindset before you get there. What do we want to do, gang, with our personal life? I say this to dental teams all the time. The story of your nightlife needs to be put in pretty boxes. with names. Spouse, mother-in-law, Aaron, Quincy, and leave them there to come into the workplace because you can go visit them at 5:01. Have you ever worked with someone that brings all their dysfunctional home life into the morning meeting and talks about it all day? Zero tolerance. Doesn't mean they're not important. But you know what I say to them? You might want to go call your mom, call a friend, to find a way, or go back to your car, put the boxes there. You can revisit them after the workday. So you can see why some people say, I go to work so that I don't have to deal with those boxes all day long. Easier said than done, would you agree?
Yeah.
But it's a learned skill to compartmentalize. Okay, and last one, 3 o'clock dental prayer. I've been teaching this for years, and a wonderful dental assistant said, Lisa, I took a picture for you. This is my 3 o'clock dental prayer. I went, gross. You're sleeping beside a toilet. She said, but I put blankets down. 3 o'clock dental prayer. What is a 3 o'clock dental prayer? Is you go somewhere to a closet, a room, a bathroom. You pray to whatever higher power you believe in your life. You're going to make it through another member of the human race. When is our energy lowest in the day? Between 3 and 5. And who do you put there? New patients. Hi, welcome. We're sucked right dry. Take my clipboard. Hope you can read. Do you need cheaters? Right? Who else do we put there? We put the 911. Where else in healthcare can they call 911 and say, but don't send the ambulance till 4? We let them do this to us. I have an emergency, but I can't come till 4. Where else would they ever do that? Except to us. Actually, the doctor has reserved time for people just like you with true delirious emergencies. Where do you want to put your emergencies? Between 10 and 2. Last before lunch and first after lunch, the hardest time to fill. If they cannot come, they are not a what? They're not a true emergency, because you know what happens, gang? You take the last minute 911 people, you put them in your schedule, and you punish all the A patients you've been harassing with confirmations and reminders and telling them to show up on time, and then we wonder why we have a little bit of a whack day in dentistry. We could be a little crazy, couldn't we? There's a lot of moving parts here. So just ask yourself, do you show up with your batteries included, regardless of your role? Are you on the verge of burnout? And what is the attitude you bring into the workplace? Because only you can own that. I'm going to leave you with that, okay?